My name is Eleanor Hoomes. I have been writing poetry since I retired at the age of 55. Today I'm going to talk about why I started writing poetry, where I get ideas, and I'm going to talk a little bit about accessibility. Several years ago, a member of the Writers Guild, Joanne Dunn, held a workshop for us, and it was on writing poetry. It was in April, of course. And I wrote this poem in the workshop. Poetry doesn't have to be deep. It doesn't have to make me weep. It doesn't even have to rhyme. But if it doesn't seize my heart, twist my soul, frisson my brain, or punch me in the gut, it must tickle my funny bone, or compel me to smile in recognition, or laugh until my side aches at the absurdity of the human condition. As I said earlier, I started writing poetry when I was 55. Since then, I have published 4 books of poetry. My ideas come from a multitude of sources. Most often, an image just pops into my head, and I have to give the story of that image. Sometimes a word or a phrase does the same thing, and then those words and phrases become images. I also like to pull from current events. Or I use a combination of those. Regardless of where my ideas come from, they all develop into images, and it's almost like writing a movie when I start to write my poems. In Sunday's Atlanta Journal and Constitution, there was an article about hugging cows during the pandemic, and I thought, that's a poem, I've got to do something with it. So here's what I wrote Sunday. And I used the headline, read the article, and then I just envisioned myself or someone else actually hugging a cow. And this is what came from that image. To hug a cow. Working from home in pandemic isolation, suffering from unprecedented loneliness, no one to touch, to hug, to cuddle, no cat nor dog to snuggle with, desperate for contact, affection, longing for warmth and connection. Cow cuddling, a balm for the lonely hearts. The headline in the AJC caught my attention. Need to be smothered in long-awaited love? Hug a 2,000-pound cow. The cow hugging business was booming in this year of COVID, offering bovine comfort for $75 an hour. I could choose a Dorbol, a red Angus steer, Moon Acorn cow, a Holstein heifer, Moo Cha Cha Mini, a white Frisian miniature, Beller or Bonnie, belted Galloways, Oreo cows. Any choice guaranteed to allay fears of immense animals and provide an enchanting and amazing experience. Moon Acorn cow ambled over for hugs and cuddle, rolled over on her side and rested her head in my lap. I scratched the inside of her fuzzy ears and under her neck. She sighed. I fed her cow pellets, absorbed serenity. Soon Gobblegook, a turkey, and Chickpea, a chicken, strutted along to be petted and clucked over. When the soothing session ended, I said, ta-ta forever. I could afford no more sessions at $75 an hour. After drowning in Moon Acorn cow's deep brown eyes, I left, vowing to become a vegan or maybe a vegetarian, at least give red meat a righteous snub, and cancel my membership in the Omaha Steak Club. I'm giving a pause there. Okay. Accessibility. When I taught English, my students were constantly asking when we studied a poem, why didn't the poet just say that to begin with? But as Bob pointed out earlier, a lot of times the pleasure is just figuring out what the poet has said. However, when I started writing poetry, I decided that mine would be very accessible. I might write a poem that was on more than one level, but at least everybody could understand the first level that was on the paper. I wrote a poem in 2002 called She Wants to Dance. The first level of this meaning is about a young girl who wants to dance, but her father's religion will not allow that. But I got the idea from hearing an NPR program on the Winter Olympics in 2002. At that time, women were not allowed to do the ski jump. And I won't go into all the reasons that were given, but none made a whole lot of sense. It wasn't until 2014 that women were allowed to ski jump in the Olympics. Of course, they'd been ski jumping elsewhere, but in the Olympics they were allowed to in 2014. I wrote this poem as an allegory. However, most people just hear it or read it and accept it on the level in which it's written. And many women have come up to me and told me about their experiences growing up and not being allowed to do things because of their parents' religion. It's called She Wants to Dance. She wants to dance, to express joy and motion, to fling her limbs about, to snap her fingers, kick, clap, stomp, and shout. Her father and his God for girls and women decree long hair and long skirts, prohibit makeup and TV, forbid dancing. She wants to dance, to swing and sway, to twirl and whirl, to leap through the air, to defy gravity. Her father and his God forbid dancing. Dancing, they say, is a sin, an open invitation for the devil to move in. She wants to dance, to express joy in living, to fling her limbs about, to swing, to sway without fear and trembling. She does not understand her father's definition of sin. Unacquainted with the devil, she would never invite him in. She just wants to dance. And I'm going to end with a poem that I wrote called The Poet and the Reader. And I want to give an idea of what it's like from the poet's point of view and from the reader's point of view. So the first stanza is devoted to the poet and the second stanza to the reader. The poet has the power to conjure colors so that all else fades, to spin straw into gold and weave poems rife with fairy dust, designed to amuse, edify, and illuminate. I consume that intertwined within the lines, hidden in the margins, lurking among the laughs, the sighs, the cries. I relish the poet's rhythms, meters, rhymes, wrapping paper for the gifts of wonder found inside. Meanwhile, absorbing, processing, subsuming all the poet has said and left unsaid, now and forever mine. Thank you.